Hey everyone, thank you for watching Infinite Realms. Today I'm going to try to review Andor, the Disney Plus series. I have to be honest, I was not really interested in this series, and it surprised me. The first three episodes, I do admit I was kind of only half there, and I missed a bunch of stuff, and I probably will need to rewatch it, but most of it is just, the origin of Andor himself. Um, and it plays out pretty good. I mean, so I don't know if I missed something that told me it would be flashbacks because I thought there were two movies going on. They were going to meet in the middle somewhere. And then I realized one's flashbacks. And I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense, huh? So it didn't grab me until the fourth episode where the heist began. And that was pretty good. We got a good look at life under the Empire for normal people. I mean, just for everyday people. No, like Jedi or anything like that. But we also got to look at the sort of powerful people too, and how their lives were affected. And it was really an interesting contrast. I really enjoyed it. The heist, it gets pulled off in a really spectacular fashion, and then Andor takes off. Well, as soon as he does, he gets arrested, which leads to probably my favorite segment in the whole show, the prison. And the way they control people in the prison is just unreal. It's, they keep the prisoners barefoot, and they have shock electricity going through the floor. And it can stun or it can kill, da da da. So, wow, that's pretty good. And they make them work on these things. And at the time, you don't know what they are. And so, it keeps going. And eventually, we find out that they killed an entire floor to keep a secret that people are not getting out of here. They just get transferred around. And that's when they all realize we gotta escape, and it is the escape is brilliant, and we're leading up to it all the way through, and we don't know what's happening until it actually happens, and it's a must see, and it leads to one of the best non-Jedi moments ever in Star Wars, in my opinion, is the speech to One Way Out, and it's like, wow, it's just so cool. And then it's just it's amazing, and I cannot give it enough gravitas of how amazing that whole sequence is, and it really has impact. And then of course this series wraps up, and it's a little ambiguous, but Andor's going to be back, so that Luthen's not going to kill him. Luthen's an interesting character because who is he? Is he this Jedi? Is he something else? What's going on with that guy? That's really fascinating too. And there's plenty of material to work with here still. Mom Mothma plays a big role and gives her a lot of it's just a lot of character for plan lady that she was in Return of the Jedi. You really get a good sense of that character, and it's kind of refreshing. We follow some characters we've never followed before, and in situations we've never seen before, and it was just every bit of it was kind of fascinating. Luthen was doubling as an antique dealer, and he had some strange artifacts in his antique shop that you wonder, okay, how did he get a hold of this? He had what looked like a headdress from Padme. He also had a Jedi Temple mask, and I know some people online were asking, well, how can he have all this Jedi stuff if, the Jedi are illegal? And it's like, well, it's kind of like, it's not that they're illegal, they're just mythical. Or not even mythical, it's like, Jedi stuff isn't illegal. It's just the Jedi themselves. Now, obviously, a lightsaber probably would not be permittable, but you know, a Jedi Temple Guard, yeah, that'd just be like a little trinket. So I could see that being used in a an antique shop. And you know, there's all kinds of speculation. Luthen might have been a Jedi Temple Guard. He might have been a Jedi far away from Coruscant when all the stuff went down. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. And how's Mom Mothma gonna recover now with her deal with the banks? It's very intriguing and cool. And I mean, that ending scene of when with the funeral and the boom, boom, the drums, it's just like, whoa, so good. And you know, they kick over the poor little droid and they try to cover up the hologram, and it's like all hell breaks loose and they start throwing bombs, and it's like, whoa. And I mean, there's like so much reflection in this about so much stuff. I mean, you know, you can chalk it up to, you know, you watch The Prison and you kind of feel like, oh, I've had jobs like that, man. And it's like, it's fascinating and interesting and keep you so scared that you gotta do, you know, you gotta be on task and get productive and da 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 da. And it's great. It's is it my favorite Star Wars thing yet? No, nothing tops the original trilogy. But it was nice to get something totally different rather than the same old, same old. And Star Wars has been suffering from that a little bit. Book of Boba Fett suffered from that majorly. As good as I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi series was, it had a little bit of suffering from that too. And this was felt very refreshing and a lot more mature than I was prepared for. It's, you know, it's like somebody realized, yeah, if you were 6 in 1977, you're 50 now. And so, yeah, you're ready for some mature themes. And it has them. And not, you know, and what I really liked about it was it hit mature themes without being gratuitous. I mean, you knew Andor was fooling around with, you know, and you know when people are doing what they're doing, because we're all adults, we know what men and women do, you know, and it wasn't like, you know, we get this gratuitous booty shot or something. I mean, it wasn't handled like that. It was just handled very maturely and, you know, honestly. And I appreciate that too. Had our first lesbian couple and people went nuts about that. So what? You think in a galaxy far, far away they ain't lesbians? You know, I'm sure there's inter-alien species romances. And, you know, I don't think Star Wars has hit on that too hard yet. I think they ought to. I think they ought to go full throttle into that. And now I do admit, you know, one thing is it did seem a little human heavy at times. And, you know, maybe that was cost savings and all that. But I wouldn't knock it for that. I will say it's an excellent series, and there's some really powerful stuff in there, and real mature, easy deal with stuff. And yes, the pacing is a bit slow for a reason. There's a reason for the slow pace, and it works well. Sometimes the slow paces can really make it go and work out. You know, sometimes it can drag you down. I mean, it's a fine line, and Andor walks it very, very well. And I liked that about it. I liked the slow pace because you got more engrossed into the characters and more engrossed into the story. And Star Wars needed a little bit of that. I mean, I don't think this is the direction Star Wars should go in constantly, but I think it's good that we're going in a new kind of type of storytelling for Star Wars. My ranking, I will give it 4.5 stars. It's really, really great. Give it a watch. Give it a chance. You'll find yourself, I mean, I guarantee if you get to the heist, you'll be loving it. And I know you'll love it if you get to the prison break. That's one of the best scenes. Oh, it's just one of the best scenes ever. Like I said, it's the best non-Jedi scene in Star Wars I think I've seen in a very long time. And again, not heavy on the Jedi, not heavy on the Force and all that. I mean, Palpatine's of course mentioned. He's there. You don't even see you don't see much of the Death Star at all until the very end. You see a couple of obvious Imperial ships, but they're not the obvious ones you think of. Let's leave it at that. Just watch it. Give it a shot. It's really, really good. Okay, well, that wraps it up for my review of Andor. Don't forget to like and subscribe.